Alright, so this is a 2021 Toyota RAV4. This is going to be the TRD off-road trim. So all-wheel drive. It does have the settings for mud and snow and rock and sand, all that good stuff. The only thing I can tell as add-ons is these steps, probably like a factory deal. They're more along just steps, not sliders. Everything else looks pretty much stock on the vehicle and left alone. Paint's in pretty good shape. I don't have any weird paint lines, tape lines, PPE lines that have been redone. Things I always check in here is like these inner nuts on the fenders, see if those have been messed with. Same thing on your doors. You always check like hinges, you can see if they've been messed with. It's never always perfect from reassembly if someone else did it and not the robots. Alright, and then glass and everything checks out really good. Tires are pretty good. They're all measuring about 7s. I think these come between 9 and 10 brand new. Some of the all-terrains will get up to like 12, 13. So you could be like 60-ish or you could be like 70, 80-ish. Lights are all good, nice LEDs, all working. This does have a sunroof with roof rack, which is pretty uncommon these days. They try to protect from that. Doesn't have any crossbars or anything. It doesn't look like it's ever been used. A few things that I found on the outside. We got some, minor chips in the front from traffic and whatnot. And then back here on this door, there's a couple little very light door ding kind of marks. And then all the way around the other side here, a pretty good ding here, almost like a rock from a lawnmower type ding. It's not very deep. You could PDR it and then get it touched up. Typically, if it's like bare metal, I will let you know, like, hey, get that taken care of. But that one's just surface scuff. I did note on the underside here, there's some good scuffs on the chin. The reason is like this is a pretty good example because they tried, but like the nose is just so far away from the tire, so it's just kind of more common these days. On like real off-roading things, like they have a very, very short bumper or the tire is like right up to it and they have little access panel things, so they did a better attempt. They do have like the upgraded skid plates with the TRD off-roads. Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot to really point out on this. We'll stop right here. Alright, at the front of the car we don't have much for wind coverage, so just kind of cover the camera the best I can from that. Basically, this is the 2.5 4-cylinder on these. These are used in a large variety of Toyota products from like early 2010s. They've been revamped and redesigned and improved on. There's several variants on it, but they all run really good. They do what they're supposed to. They're efficient. They're easy to maintain. They have plenty of get up, They're not the fastest thing in the world, right? Because, you're not buying a crossover SUV for a race car. But these things get going pretty well. They do well on fuel economy. And like I said, they're pretty reliable. So this one doesn't have any weird sounds or anything like that when it's running. I'll do a startup here in a moment. Transmission on these are service only, so basically it's checked like a diff on the back down there. So I don't have any sticks or even any top plugs anymore. Belts, hoses, everything look really good. Air filters and stuff they've replaced. Belts over here. So on to structural stuff, so this is going to be basically the frame or body that everything bolts into. And then down here is going to be your support for the front core and everything all the way up to here. And you can see all the factory welds. All the pinch points are still really uniform. Sometimes some of these will be like deep and some of the paint will be like overlapping when you see a man do it. It's just not as like a quick stamp, right? You can tell that they like want to make sure. They want to make sure, right? When a man does it, they're like making sure, so you get like deeper burns. Still has the seam putty straight up like a machine put it on. And then you can tell down here, like cross member and everything, all the brackets, plastics are all still really good and intact, like no one's messed with them. And then this side's a little harder with the airbox, but you can still see all the way down. The camera makes it a little hard to see, but down in here, you can see the aluminum crash bar supports are still there. And then up in your aprons, all this looks good. Still factory welds and stuff here. So front end looks really good. I'm gonna assume it was something cosmetic. Had to have been like maybe glass or something. I can't, everything's still factory parts, so that's good news. We're gonna set this down right here, bear with the camera, we're gonna do a quick startup. Alright, so that spider sound is going to be your like secondary system on these. Your direct injection and evap and everything are doing their checks right now. And that's good. Cycles right back off. So it basically just checks on everything, makes sure everything is doing what it's supposed to, pressures are all good. So it does have a lot of safety redundancies and stuff like that. So we'll stop right here. Alright, so we use this mirror here. It basically helps us get our angles to see under the car a lot easier. I use this front to back to start with. It lets me see if anything's been hanging down, anything's been hit, dragging, it's been sagging down, any kind of wet areas, be nice and shiny, except for like the plastics, right? Like plastics are shiny. Usually you can tell like if oil has saturated something. As far as I can tell, like this chin just has some scuffs on it, you know? Nothing crazy. But they have the nose so far out on modern vehicles, it's kind of the curse of these crossovers. So from here, we're going to move to the corners. Alright, so this is going to be your driver's side. This is going to be your front lift point here. It looks good, it's not folded over or anything. And then the body, also looking good, all your skid plates and stuff. This does have steps here, and they basically go onto, let this kind of focus, onto your pinch weld along the seam of the body here. Alright, I wouldn't count on those to be like rock sliders or anything close to that, okay? We'll keep moving to the back. Alright, so from the back you got a stock muffler, all looking good. You can see your body back here, all checking out good as well. And then red springs are the TRD thing, you have the off-road package. And then shocks, everything, axles, all nice and dry. And then your rear diff looks really good. Driveline's tucked up nice. Heat shields all look really good. And full stock exhaust. So you're gonna have muffler here, resonator, and then secondary cat, and the primary cat's like goes up to the engine, so it's like tucked in an angle. Go off to the other side now. Okay, so we're on the passenger side here. So your lift point here again, really good shape. Not bent over or anything, and then the step again runs down the side, and you see your body still has all the plates and everything. Factory seams and all that stuff still look really good. Alright, so underneath looks really good. I didn't see any signs of any kind of repairs or any kind of hard scuffs or bottoming out or anything, so we'll keep moving through this inspection. Alright, so anytime we are doing our interior, I start with the wheel. They tend to be very busy these days. So starting here, this does have a heated steering wheel, I believe heated wash, and then power liftgate buttons, auto headlights. You have your, turn that off, that's working good. Radio controls, as well as voice commands, and then some of the menu stuff there. And then cruise control, radar, and lane keep. It doesn't like drive itself, right, but it'll give you assistance, and then it'll say, hey, you're not helping if you don't. So down here is your settings, so mud and sand, rock and dirt, and then push it if it's for normal, snow down here. And then this is for like going down really steep grades. You can like set your speed that you want, and then this is to hold you in position until you give it throttle on steep grades. Electric parking brake. Has a pad here, but it's not like a charging pad. And then some ports there. does have heated and air conditioned seats with dual climate. And then just a standard backup camera. Just gives you a good display of everything here. And then this doesn't have the map app installed. I know you can update these sometimes, but a lot of these, if you have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay and it takes over, it defeats the point of it, is what I'll say. So see how it works with your phone before you try to invest in something like that. Our mileage at our drive, 56,907. We're gonna pause here, open up the vehicle, and look from the outside in. Okay, so on the driver's side here, looking out in, so we have our door cards in really good shape. I believe that's just like the plastics that they had for when they come out of detail. They just stuff it in there. Power seat. The carpet's in really good shape. Looks like the all-weather mats have been in there the whole life. Pedals in great shape. Seat, I did note we have a little scuff in the perforation right here. It's not like damaged, but it's there. I see it. I noticed it. And then step back here to the rear. Again, door cards in really good shape. Seat backs are in good shape. Seats in the rear, I don't know if anyone really used them much. Definitely didn't have car seats or anything, so that's nice. Been seeing a lot of dents from those. Same thing with the carpet. We'll hop sides real fast. Alright, so the wind has been closing these on me, so just bear with me. I might be a little gun shy. Door cards are in really good shape. Again, seals and everything. Seat belts all look good. Seats look great. Seat backs as well. Touch on the headliner here. So there's a couple marks and some good marks over on that side that caught my eye. Some like stains or scuffs. Not really like scuffs, just like marks. So they need to be washed real good. Door card here really good. Manual seat on this side, also in really good shape though. And then glove box has a big old honker for for an owner's manual. Lots of info in there. Still has a leather case. That looks good. We'll stop right here. Interior checks out nice. Alright, so we do have quite a bit of wind today, so I'm going to try to speak up. Just try to drown out that background noise. Perseverance. So we do have a power lift gate on this bad boy. I'll get into all of it. This does have the privacy cover. Fully pulls out. Doesn't look like it was put in crooked or anything like that. So it doesn't have any like weird wrinkles. Locks in. Yeah, thank you. They do kind of sag a little bit, I noticed. So I don't know if it's just like the weight of the lid, or that's just kind of how it chills. Here it does have the all-weather mats, and then spare tire in the back here. It's full height on these. It's not full size. It's hard to fit these all-season style, all-terrain style tires in these little areas. Back here, we're checking our seam seal. We did have some concerns about structural stuff, so I'm making sure to like hit all those notes. All of it looks factory still. None of it looks like it's laid by a man, you know what I mean? So all checks out. And then gives you a really long beep, but for me, I always think that's an issue. Closes just fine. And then you hear it suck itself down and latch. No issues here. We're gonna keep moving forward. Alright, so at this portion is gonna be our scan of the vehicle. Everything passed. So I've only had a few vehicles do this lately, so this is really good. Seems more and more common that there's like low voltage, or we had to jump it, or you know, replace the batteries or anything like that. So this hasn't been sitting long, or it, you know, has plenty of life, because this is all good news. Another thing down here, we just always want to make sure our VIN in the computer is the same as what's on the car. Stuff like that can be important down the line. And then from here, we're going to go off to our monitors. Okay, so we're going to go into our monitors real quick here. I always do the codes, like since the last time someone went through codes, not the drive. All green checks. So, really good. Clean computer. That's what we like to see. Shows that there isn't like any instabilities or lack of interest in the vehicle, or it was left, or they stash it away for repairs for a long time or anything like that. No history, nothing like that. So looks good. Oh my gosh, sorry about that. The wind is kicking today, closing all the doors. All right, we're gonna conclude right here. So overall, really clean vehicle. For an off-road package, I expected a lot more like pinstripe scratches and like more dings and dents. I don't think this really saw too much off-road action. A little bit of scuffs on the chin here. It looks like they had a doggo that got excited when they brought it home for the first time or something. A little marks there, and then a couple like door ding marks on the rear doors. But overall, checks out really good. Underside's really nice. No rust, no real scrapes or anything. Still has the metal skid plates that are under there. It's like an alloy to be light but durable, more than the plastic, right? Tires are from 2024. They're still measuring about 7s, which is about, you know, 80-ish% on those, so still really good. Great tread for our area. Paint's in good shape. Plastics are in good shape. Only aftermarket thing I did mention with these steps, they are not really like sliders or armor, they're just steps. They are mounted to your pinch welds. You could get a little bit of fold if you try to use them for anything more than that. All the buttons and everything operate as intended. I didn't find anything odd in this one, so really clean inspection. Nothing to really point out on this. So you just, for your scratches, what I would do is you can do PDR, which is painless dent removal for like the little dings on the doors. And then a good buff, like a paint correction buff and cut, will take out like a top layer on your clear coat. Because, right, it's the clear that gets cut. And then they rebuff and like shine the clear up. It's not your actual paint when you have like surface scratches. It's that clear top coat. And that's what you got to protect. And you can get a lot of marks, a lot of imperfections and scratches out with just a good paint correction, buff and cut. Like, it's amazing what it can do. We're gonna stop here. Everything checks out amazing on this.